Welcome back. It's time for Overlooked Stocks. Joining us now, George Tsilis, Senior Markets Correspondent for the Schwab Network. And George, we're talking SharpLink Gaming. I have looked at this news release for like a good 20 minutes, and I don't know that I make any sense of it. So that's why we're bringing in the big guns. You're here to make sense of this for us and explain what's going on with SBET. SBET, that is a stock ticker.
Yeah, I'll do my best here. This is let's call it a unique situation, and many days there are huge runners like this. This one really stands out because maybe the acronym SBET has something to do with it. There's also an Ethereum tangent here as well. So there's a lot of hype around this name. But this is essentially SharpLink Gaming is essentially a small casino and gaming company. It's an online performance-based marketing and sports betting and iGaming company. They help manage sports books and technology for small and regional and state local casinos. If you look at their market capitalization as of yesterday, it was around 4.5 million. Sales in the last year around 3.4 million. Losses per share were around 3.3 million. So this company is far from profitable. And in fact, if you look at the stock in the last 5 years, it's down about 82%. But if you look at the last 6 months, things are much different, particularly today, as we see the stock at one point in time higher by over 500%. And so let's put this together here. But essentially, if you just go back, going back to the 20th, the company actually, according to May, the company offered about $4.5 million in stock. So they basically diluted the shareholders by quite a bit, and they used that for general purposes, capital expenditures, and so forth. And that actually caused the stock to decline. Well, today's news is quite a bit different in the sense that the company did offer more stock. They actually offered a tremendous amount more stock. So on the 20th, it was around 1.5 million shares. This time around, it was over 69 million shares at an offering price of $6.25. And you put that math together, comes out to about $425 million, which is a tremendous increase relative to the market cap as of close yesterday, which was around $4.5 million. Now, the whole tangent is that this is a private placement through another company called Consensus Software, which is essentially an AI sales and marketing platform. And it also is a private placement that has now Joseph Lubin, who is now going to be a board of director on SharpLink, and he is probably part of this in major capacity, was a co-founder of Ethereum. And if you look at the news today, SBET is going to be using this proceeds, not for general administrative expenses, not for capital expenditures, but for an Ethereum treasury. And so essentially, you have a stock that even going back to the 1st of May, had a reverse split, a 1 for 12. The other thing is the float yesterday was around 400,000 shares. That was based on last reported quarterly earnings, not inclusive of the 1.5 million they actually issued in shares going back to the 20th. So the company's actually gone from 400,000 in shares to over 70 million in shares in short order. But the whole notion of today's move was based on that it's going to create an Ethereum treasury. I'm not saying it's akin to a MicroStrategy Bitcoin, proxy, but that's what the market has latched onto today, and that's why we saw a huge run up to the upside.
Yeah, it might not be to that level yet, but it's definitely cut from the same cloth, and you can see the excitement here using those free cash assets not to be stored in U.S. treasuries or in U.S. dollars, but in Ethereum. Obviously also a heavily shorted name too that saw tremendous unraveling on that front too. But George, appreciate the breakdown and the update on SBET as the stock surges here today.